What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Welcome to Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365, iHeartRadio. You already know what it is. One of the nicest MCs, producers in the game. Goes by the name of Chuck Strangers, Flatbush, Brooklyn, representing. He's got the Detroit hat on tonight. I'm
Yeah.
sure all the fans are disappointed if you're a Yankee fan, Met fan, whatever. But he's
Uh,
here. He's here on the show here tonight. Forsaken Lovers Plea coming soon, March 15th.
yeah, yeah,
Man, how's it feeling? You got the new single out. You got one coming real soon. Skied Up. I heard it.
yeah.
From his fire, produced by Uncle Al.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It feels really good, man. I'm excited to be just putting out music again.
I
Like,
can tell you're in your bag. You're ready.
thanks, man. Yeah, shit, man.
The lyrics are there. The production's there. You're hands on. You kind of, what's funny with me doing my research on the album title, you kind of intertwined it with music in a love affair in a way. What made you kind of want to go in this direction?
Huh. Well, um, I think that anyone who's had to like be in the music industry for like a long time or whatever, or or you anyone who is like, well, all right, well, I named it that because I really felt like I got my foot in the door in the music industry, and I was able to do some things that I'm really proud of, and but still like I just liking it. My relationship with music, I was liking it, and even though this is I think this is corny, like personifying hip hop as like a woman or someone you're trying to get with. I think that's kind of corny, but I did like the name. I like the name that I came up with, so I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna use it. But it's like I kind of liken it to like you know maybe a shorty who like you might have had a fling with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Was trying to like be serious about it, and she was, it really wasn't that deep to her, and so this is like a last ditch effort to show said person like, hey, look, this is how I feel or whatever, and you know, I just hope, I will see how people take it.
Yeah, and I know you're ready. This is the one that's really gonna unlock the masses here. People have been in tune for a while now. Style Wars, my favorite song by you. We all know your pro era history. We're producing with Joey Badass and the guys, but it's kind of interesting because there's been so much like conversations on my show within the recent weeks with people just kind of going about that and their music, kind of relating their music to a love affair and just what's going on in their regular lives. Because when you're in the entertainment industry, it's hard to find someone that's compatible with you. Is that kind of something you're addressing as a double entree as well with the title? It's kind of hard to find someone that's compatible and understands your lifestyle as well as someone that you kind of put all your love into but may not reciprocate it.
I won't say it being like more so of like an understanding of my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
more so than like to me it's more so like interested in my lifestyle.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't say understanding because like I'm putting out music, and everybody wants to like put out their album and get fucking tens across the board and you're critically acclaimed, and then you go out on tour and there's a heap of fans screaming your name, and then you go home to your beautiful IG model, and then and then y'all have children or something. You know what I'm saying? So like um and then some people feel like, if their reality is coming short of that, that something is wrong or they need to work harder or something, you know what I mean? Um, I don't have those aspirations to or per se, but like, yeah, I hate sometimes being like, oh, you gotta grind, because to me, I don't think it look at making music as grinding or working. Like people go out and like lift heavy shit and like do all kinds of stuff like that. So they to me they work. But um you just, I love to do music. If I had a job, I would, after I'm done my job, come and do music or whatever. So I still try to think that, but like, yeah, so um I hate calling it grinding, but just making music and putting out enough music where people, you're able to and Tom, the owner of the label, he said this to me. He said, energize your fan base. I liked that wording, energize your fan base, because um you probably do, I do have fans or whatever, and we're slowly and surely energizing them, waking them back up to like, yo, like I put out music on my own and I do my stuff. And it's been going really good, man. We've been seeing growth over the past 3 years, so I can't complain.
You've been working for a while now, just
Yeah,
with your music and going back to your early beginnings, writing from the age of 10 or 11, then once getting later in your teen years, going in actually into record studio. But you were
yeah,
kind of making beats early on as well.
yeah,
You
yeah,
had the MPC and you had to sell it originally because
yeah,
times
yeah.
got
That's
rough,
true.
I heard. So,
That's true. That's actually true.
so what happened that you kind of had to sell it? Was it just you were just running low on money? Were you,
Nope.
because I heard that you went to LA too. We'll get into that, but what happened that you
Oh
had to
no, by
sell
the
the
time
beat?
I got to LA, I was already like making money off music. So
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
but oh, not fine, but like I was better off than I was then. But so at this time, um, I'm probably like senior high school, about to go to college, and I got a girl, and I want to do this and I want to do that, and I needed money for like the summer pretty much. And I didn't have a job. I didn't have a summer job. Or not that summer I didn't have a job. Or I think I did have a job, but I still sold it because I needed bread. I think it was like something like, you'd be like in between your check or something. It's like, damn, I need bread to, XYZ. And in my mind, I kind of was like, yo, fuck it. Like maybe I just sell this drum machine. Like, what am I gonna be? Fucking a producer or something? So I'm like, fuck it, I got rid of it. And but I still ended up making beats on Fruity Loops, still ended up getting
1999 on Fruity Loops.
yep. Still ended up getting in the game. So everything happens how it's supposed to, I guess.
Yeah, you're a believer in that everything happens for a reason.
I think so sometimes. I think so a lot of times, because um a lot of shit happened to me in the course of times between now and when we were doing all that 1999 stuff. And sometimes I think that if I were to like if I were to have even been to the place where I'm at my solo career now, then I probably would have been all arrogant and stupid and just like, just not cool. So I'm like, everything's supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Mm,
And I ain't even done what I really want to do yet. Anyway, so
mm.
yeah, just know that I have the wisdom now of to be like, yo, just keep working, and before you know it, things will be different.
What's it that you really want to do? I mean, you got the album coming, you got classics with Pro Era. What is it that you really want to do?
I want to fully produce my own classics.
Mm.
Like I got tons of stuff I want to do. I want to put out. I want to put out more music of my own, more solo music. I would love to produce like full albums. Like um, I produced the album with well, we're figuring out a home for it or something, or not even we. So pretty much, and I'll tell this story. I don't care, because there needs to be more awareness around the situation. I feel like this has been skeletons in the closet for years. So pretty much, I produced the Boldy James album.
Wow.
Um, yo, this dude, Wilson Chandler from the Knicks. He
Knicks,
used to play
yeah.
with the Knicks and shit. So pretty much, Wilson Chandler paid me and Boldy James to do an album. He's just because he's an amazing person. Like, and he has good taste in music. Like, he has amazing taste in music, apparently. So he just paid us to make an album. And the shit is crazy. The shit is crazy. It's like some of the best stuff I've ever done. And even, in my personal opinion, that's some of the best Boldy stuff. You're always gonna like your kids over the neighbors, but I think it's some of the best stuff he's ever done. It's definitely some of the best stuff I've ever done. We got Alchemist involved too in it. He like mixed it and like fucking kind of like arranged it and stuff. Um, and we're just trying to figure out when it's coming out, but we've been keeping it under wraps. But I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm taking it upon myself to rabble rouse. You know what I mean?
Fire. No, that's
We need
crazy.
a lot of
Wilson
that.
Chandler. Out of all people, Wilson Chandler.
I thought it was really random. I think he like I want to say it was like something through currency or something, but like I think he found out about my shit through like some currency shit or something like that, and then like um just tapped in with me, and bro, he was a big help, bro. Like there was time like when he did that for me when we did that Boldy James album, that bread was like a lifesaver at that time, like, and he was real cool about it too, like real down to earth, like I guess that's how Richie Bar, like he was just like, oh, we're like this much bread. Okay, boom. 2 seconds later, it was in my account. I'm like, oh shit, I lit. Like, let's go. So I honor him for that, and I am super thankful and blessed to even know that man. So, but I think they trying to figure it out now. But I can't wait for people to hear that shit.
It sounds fire, and coming from you, we know it's gonna be, and you're a true student of the game. Just early on, I know you were getting put onto CDs when you were younger. I think Death Certificate and some of these classic out. Midnight Marauders is
Yeah,
your top album.
yeah. I don't know about still, but yeah, it
Yeah.
really is though. It's in the top 5.
What's it about that album compared? Because the '90s has produced so many classics. When you look at Illmatic, Capital Punishment, All Eyes on Me, Life After Death. What is it about that album that speaks to you? Is it just the way that I don't know? Tribe Called Quest is in a class of their own, in my opinion. Just with the beats and rhymes, they're so unique.
You know what it is? I liked how they were able to like their music was like really serious
Mm,
and fun at the same time. I think that's like a really hard thing to do. Like, so like they would speak on like really like serious shit, but like the song would be fun.
yeah.
Like verses from the abstract or something. The thing that meant, like so many words, so many bars in a shit that'd be like I love when he said, men and women need to stick together. Progressions can't be made if we separate forever. Like that's almost like a controversial line in
Yeah.
2004. Like, what do you mean, men and women? What about they and fucking, whatever and shit. Like, not whatever, not be to be dismissive to anyone who identifies themselves as anything, but you know what I mean? It's just so complex nowadays. So, but I still do think that like, they had fun while speaking on real stuff. And I always kind of honored that. And like the colors of their music. The music was like real colorful to me in my mind. Like it was like youthful shit. Like, but not, I'm 32 years old now. So like as much as I listen to some Tribe Called Quest, but like I'm not in that chamber as much as I was when I was 19 years old,
Mhm.
when I was saying all that stuff. And
I mean, what's your outlook for the youth out here, even for the mainstream? Because I feel as though a lot of hip hop fans, they don't go back and do their research. Where it kind of, I heard it even took you a while to understand the Public Enemy music and just the music that came out of the
I'm
crack era.
still learning Public Enemy, to be honest with you. Like I like um and I'm realizing how much of their influence is actually like on the game like that. Like where you be thinking like, oh, who cares about this stuff? But then it's like some of your favorite rappers, like if you ask him what's his shit, he's like, oh, Black Steel and Hour of Chaos or
Yeah.
fucking whatever it is. So uh I look at like listening to like older albums like that, like watching a documentary.
Mm.
So a lot of times, and when I used to live with Animosity, you'd always see me do this stuff. I'll just like throw on an album in my headphones and just chill. Like like put it on and like maybe I'm like watching maybe I'm on social media or like whatever. But I'm just like sitting down chilling. But I'm like digesting the album and shit. Like, so it's like, oh, and then you're always finding out like you hear niggas stealing bars, you hear whole like it's like, oh shit. Like I remember I was listening to an Ice-T album. I forget, I think it was Original Gangsta. I can't remember which one it was. But then I remember it wasn't the first one, it was like a later one. Because I think it had the I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Mm.
And I was like, I was mind blown because I didn't know that Jay-Z didn't come up with that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that phrase, you know?
No, that's how when you learn, when you go back to all these guys, you learn that they sampled their beats. You kind of learn that they took from their elders and then they just carried it on in their own way. And it's kind of funny when you look at the production today and just music as a state as a whole. What do you think it's going to take for there to be a classic album in today's mainstream? Because I always have this conversation. I think you're one of the people that I would want to hear your point of view on it, because when we look at Joey Badass, 1999 is a classic. We know that.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for there to, but that's years past now, because we were still in the era, we had the blog and you still had the in-person. It wasn't all phased out 100% yet. So what do you think it's going to take now in the digital age for there to be the classic? Because I feel as though there hasn't been a classic album in a digital age that there's this replay value to. Like an Illmatic, like a Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up. What age is what year was we talking about? What's the digital age? Hold up.
I mean, if you look at it from, you know, that's it. It is interesting because you could go back to Napster. I mean, I would say the digital, once Instagram, World Star, and TikTok really took over.
Like 2010?
Yeah, like, well, not even 2010. I'd say like 2014, like SoundCloud.
Oh, okay. So like the digital
over.
age.
Yeah.
Okay. 2014.
Besides, I know 2014 Forest Hills Drive art. I'll give you that. You know, that was a classic album in its own right. I mean, once we're deep into the digital age after J. Cole and on the mainstream, where you think it's critically acclaimed by like mainstream and
no. Oh, okay. You mean like a critically acclaimed? Everyone agrees this is a classic.
Yes.
No, we don't have anything like that.
We don't have any like a Get Rich or Die Trying.
No. We don't have anything like that. We don't. Maybe hold up. When is Blonde by Frank? Oh, but he's from a rap.
Yeah, rap. I agree. Blonde's a classic. I did say that once when just having a conversation with that a couple months ago. I said, if you look at hip hop and R&B, you could say, yeah, Blonde was the last classic album.
Yeah, Blonde, maybe, yeah.
But even though people still categorize that as pop because iTunes says it in the pop genre.
Crazy. Oh, what about when is Good Kid, Mad City?
That's 2013.
Oh,
right? Or 2012, right? That's classic. I'd say that's critically acclaimed.
2012, you're right.
Yeah, 2012.
Oh, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Do you think that, I feel, because I remember when that first dropped, people were giving that a lot of flack when that came out. And I feel as though
I remember.
I thought remember that? Great. And now everyone says it's a classic. Everyone was hating it, saying it was terrible.
I thought it was amazing. My thing about it is it's kind of weird to listen to. Like I don't single out songs of it. Like when I did used to listen to it, I would just pop it on, song number one, and just go on the movie. But I don't like skip or like I don't have like jams on it. Like to me, it like kind of reminded me of like one of Ice Cube's first two albums. You know what I mean? Where it kind
America's Most Wanted,
the whole movie, like where like I listen to those in the same way. Like I don't necessarily have a favorite song on America's Most Wanted, but like the whole shit is a movie. And then I like certain songs, but I just kind of listen to the whole shit. Like, even though I do like Who's the Man? Who's the Man is probably my favorite song.
Fire. They're classics, but it is difficult. The critically acclaimed one. I mean, what's it going to take to get back to that, you think? What is it real? Because I mean, is Dr. Dre going to drop Detox? I mean, I mean, what's it really going to take, you think, for there to be a critically acclaimed hip hop album?
Nah. Because you're talking about undisputed, like things that like no one can like disagree. Like it's like, nah, that's a classic. Yeah, we don't really have anything. Like
we don't have it. And that, do you think that boils down to artists not being on their top of their game as far as songwriting, or do you think production plays a big part in that? Because I want to get into the production with you, because I believe you guys have kept it authentic to the roots of hip hop. What do you think it is that there just isn't those critically acclaimed albums anymore, as far as for the production and the songwriting, the lyrics.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What do you think it's going to take for there to be like a critically acclaimed album again, as far as when it comes to the songwriting and the lyrics and the
I
production?
think I think there's so many variables that are at play that like it's gonna be kind of hard because I think the way that music is consumed right now.
Mm.
Like you could put out an album. When I put out my album in March, unless I fucking go around and post it a bunch of times, like after a week or so, it's kind of done. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas like when I was a kid, a nigga promoted his album for months. Nigga, like there was like singles that were dropping like after the album was out and like, XYZ and shit like that. So I think that, but like I just think that people just need to for a classic album, it's kind of hard, especially on a mainstream level, like what you're talking about, like a mainstream classic album. I really feel like the way the music industry is set up, it doesn't allow that to happen.
Mm.
Like the music industry isn't encouraging um the young whoever the fuck to make a classic album.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the music industry is telling him, make these slaps. You gotta keep making these fucking slaps.
these
Because
TikTok
we don't have a
slaps.
slap next week, we gonna forget you and shit. Which must be a crazy life to live. I don't know. But also we also stop playing how good them kids are at what they do too. Like I hate when people try to act like, well, these people don't have bars, so like they're garbage. But it's like, nigga, fucking but every time you try to hear one of these lyrical niggas switch lanes, it's like nails on a chalkboard. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, it's
like,
horrible. Yeah.
chill.
Do you want me to say names? I mean,
Go ahead. I don't give a
all
fuck.
right. Yeah, I think once some of these Griselda guys get on trap beats, it's awful. It's got awful. He's
Hey,
laughing.
man.
They're terrible on trap beats.
Hey, I'll let you tell it,
Yeah.
man. I'll let you. I ain't gonna jump out the window out there on that one with you, but I know what you're saying. Not about them, but that's like about people in general, like where it's like, bro, and you're not, and they always try to be like, well, I'm just growing with my creativity or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want to use to say it and shit, right? But it's like, bro, like you gotta like understand, like if if I came to you for a specific drug, if I go to my weed man and I'm like, yo, you got the best weed, and then tomorrow he's like, oh, I don't have any weed, but I'm selling coke. I'm not gonna buy coke because you selling coke now, nigga. Like, I'm just not gonna buy drugs from you anymore, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unless you know you have clientele that likes to buy coke, maybe don't make coke. You know what I mean? Maybe don't try to sell coke. I don't know. I think it's about knowing what your fans are and what your fans expect from you or whatever XYZ. But also too, like, you never really know. That's why I feel niggas for taking a shot at it, because you never really know. But it's hard to cross over. I think there always kind of has to be that foot in the sand from the beginning.
Mm.
Like you got these gangster rappers. They rap about guns, murder, 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 and then it's like you might try to do. Now you're trying to turn up, get lit, but I don't know. This shit don't be making sense, and we
Yeah.
see
It
you
doesn't.
kind of like knock one out the park. It's like I don't know. I respect people who bring their styles to other styles, though.
Mm.
That I feel like could be tastefully done. Like if you are rapping on a drill beat, that don't mean you gotta sound like Fivio Foreign or
Yeah.
fucking
Pop Smoke.
Central C or Pop Smoke or one of these niggas. You just do what you're doing over a drill beat, maybe myself fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm down for that. Like, I just think that there has to be truth involved to some degree. I think that fans even think so too. So like, because you see these lyrical niggas try to cross over all the time, and people be bitching.
Yeah, they complain, and this is going to relate to your friend Joey because, I mean,
Mhm,
the
mhm.
2000 album classic, people really didn't bring it up as much as they should have. I mean, the Joey Badass and the real hip hop fans, we knew it was out there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it didn't get the recognition. But however, he'll trend when he does, which is with the new song, and I'm sure you probably
I
saw the
think that shit
backlash.
sold
People
like
were hating on
20K
it,
in
but
the first week though.
people were hating on it.
People were hating on. You know, it's funny you say that people didn't really know about 2000, but that shit sold like 20K in the first week.
Exactly. And it's crazy how people didn't bring it up. Like, but you're right, it sold the amount. But I noticed, but when Joey doesn't do what people want him to do, that's when he trends and people are like, oh, he's terrible. What's this? Why is he changing up his style?
Because it's because he's so good at what he does. So it's like when Nas was doing "You Owe Me" and shit like that, and fucking like
Genuine.
"Hate Me Now" and shit. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
Puffy.
nigga, what is this shit? Like, give us that Nas is like, nigga, give us that.
Represent.
I always say I'm a huge fan of balance.
Mhm.
Like me, I'm you talking to I like It Was Written better than Illmatic. So
It
like
was written better than Illmatic. I agree too. Yeah. I
personally,
gave you power, taking in
all
blood,
that shit. There's
shootouts.
so much fire shit on that album,
Yeah.
and there's range. It's not like it's Illmatic is like a little boy like in the hood XYZ, but like he clearly was older. He clearly was like not quite there, but there now. And I thought so, and he's way better on that album lyrically. He's
Yeah.
killing.
Nas is coming with Dr. Dre. Oh,
The hook, I hate that hook, but the verses on that song are insane. Some of
yeah.
the best rapping I've heard. Taking in Blood, that's some of the best rap. I think Nas on Taking in Blood is the greatest rapper who ever lived.
Mm.
Like some of the shit he's talking about on there is crazy. Coke suppliers acting biased because rumors say that niggas wear wires and we liars, but every day
Yeah.
cat's higher, every day the gas fire. I still remain the Mac flies and the
The
fact
fat Kanayas, yeah.
killer in me slash drug dealer. And
Killer
like
MC.
he was
He
like
was.
fixing the like going crazy, but like nonchalantly, like laid back, like this is nothing to me. I'm just getting this shit off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but he was wilding. Like, certain people get shit off, but it's like, here, let me show you I'm getting this
Yeah.
off. This is nothing to me. I'm just like, it's like when you see a nigga do a tray flip with his hands down or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, that was nothing to you, bro. You're nice. Like, I think of that song.
Yeah. It's insane, man, when you really look at it. But when we look at your career, you're just meeting Joey for the first time, and he
Yep.
found your beat tape. He heard your beat tape on Facebook that you put out there.
It's
And
crazy. Yes.
it's crazy how it all came together. And you and your brother were heading to the store, and you kind of just met him on the street.
Yeah, damn. Did you read some shit about me or
Yeah,
something? Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for being prepared for this interview.
Oh no, of course.
Yes, that's exactly how it happened, bro. And uh it's funny, I deleted that beat tape off of Facebook like
Yeah, I
within
did.
like a
I
day
did
or
this.
two or
Yeah.
something. Like hours. Like I remember I posted it and was like, nah, this is retarded. Let me just delete this shit. I'm bugging out. Like, what am I doing? And look, that shit saved my life, pretty much.
Yeah, because when you go on to produce for 1999, he was paying you, and you got the money to buy back your MPC.
Yes, I did. Yes, that's a fact. That was just facts. Like, yeah, I didn't, yeah, after that, I bought the 4,000. I never had a 4,000 before, but I was like, fuck it. Oh, they only want, this is 600. I think it was $600 at the time. I was like, fuck it, we lit. So, yeah, that was that.
Why did you head out to LA? What was that? Because you even, I've heard it say there in my research and your interviews, you kind of had, as soon as when the pro era kind of was blowing up, that's when you went out to the West Coast to LA, and you were out there with Ka, and you were out there with Alchemist, linking up with him. We'll get into
Yeah.
some of that, but why did you want to go to LA?
So, what's funny? Why I wanted to go to LA was like, it was pretty crazy. Like, I didn't even really plan, like, for real, to move to LA. Like, I was living with a bunch of friends who were from California,
Mhm.
and we got kicked out of our apartment. Like we all just got kicked out. Like we got We got like evicted, I guess, or we were about to get evicted. They didn't evict us because we left, type shit. And they were all moving back to California, and I thought me and my homie we're gonna move to a different apartment in Brooklyn. And I was just searching around, searching around. We couldn't find anything. We had no credit. Like, you know, it was hard to find an apartment. And I remember randomly just like, I think I was texting Alchemist like, "Oh, I'm thinking about moving to California," and he was like, "Oh, if you do, let me know. Like, fuck with me or whatever." And I was like, "All right, cool." Like, not even really taking that seriously, like, you know, it's Alchemist and shit at the time. I'm thinking, so I'm like, all right, whatever. So I end up. This is a crazy story. I actually end up in San Diego, and the day I land, I was supposed to stay with a homie. I was supposed to stay in San Diego, look for apartments in LA, and then find an apartment, and then you know be good. The day I land, the homie who says I could stay there is like, "Yo, nah, actually, you can't stay at my crib." So I was
Wow.
like, "What?" Like day one, day zero, like I got my first taste of Californian
Oh, Skid
place.
Row, Skid Row.
Literally, there's like, so I had to get a hotel, and I didn't even have that much money on me. I didn't even have. Looking back on it, I was just retarded. It was like youthful, just dumbness. I probably had, bro, probably like $8,000, $7,000, which is
Wow.
not a lot of bread.
No.
Not a lot of bread, dude. To find yourself moving across the country type shit.
No.
I was able to ship my stuff, all my shit across for like free through some illegal means, and fucking so I get out here, I had to buy a hotel. I'm literally in the hotel room, like, damn, bro, like, what the fuck is gonna happen? And one of the homies, my homie Pat, God bless his mom, she had overheard what happened and was like, yo, fuck that. Like, don't leave him in a hotel. Like, so I think I was staying on the floor with him or some shit. Like in his room or something. And we would literally like be on like high school time. Like we couldn't smoke dope. Like we couldn't like it was literally like little kid shit. But anyway, long story short, I end up fucking getting to LA and I end up staying with I end up it was a bunch of bullshit that happened in LA that end up letting me stay by him. He found me my first apartment out here ever.
Wow.
I was living. I was neighbors with Big Twin from Infamous Mob. Me and Big Twin, we lived in the same building for a little while, and that shit was a blessing. It was like the having the OG right there. You know, he was locked in.
That's a wild story. And you were out there for about 8 years?
Yeah, I'm back out here now again.
What? Oh, so you're in LA now.
I'm in LA right now.
Wow.
But this time it's a little different. I got my own apartment. I'm not sleeping on anyone's floor.
Oh, well,
Um,
that's good. But I mean, you built yourself up. You've done some legendary work already. I know you got a lot more that you want to accomplish down there. But it is interesting to see that you went back to LA because I know anytime I talk to actors, that's where you go for movies and if you want to pursue your acting dreams. But LA music, people always tell me that they didn't get a good vibe, and they always usually head up to New York or Atlanta, mostly Atlanta now.
well, here's the thing. I'm not really reliant on anyone for my creativity like that.
Mm,
So, like, to me, I look like I feel like I could create anywhere, right? So, but LA was just more like fitting to my lifestyle. Like at the time, when I moved back to New York, I lived in Brooklyn for a little while, and then I was living in Manhattan, and it just became overwhelming
mm.
financially. Like I just felt like for what I was paying, I wasn't getting anything. So on top of a bunch of other things, but like, so I just randomly, I didn't even really plan to move back out here. It just kind of happened.
Mm.
And yeah, I've been out here. I've already been back out here a year.
Wow.
So time is flying.
Time does fly, and it's good to see that you're happy out there. You're in a creative space. I could tell that you're ready just by the two songs that I've heard already. That the people, I hope that they're ready for this. I really do because
Me too.
I think it's gonna have an impact, a real impact.
I think so as well. I think that a lot of people are not really expecting what's gonna happen, what just some of the music on there. But I think that when I look at the track listing, I think that there's a lot of stuff. I have been making a lot of music, like my EP, the two EPs that I dropped, Too Afraid to Dance, and and The Boys and Girls
That came out earlier last year. Yeah.
earlier last year. I felt like those were different from the music that well, not different, but like it was more so in the vein of like Class Pictures and like Peaceful and stuff like that. But I noticed fans of songs like I have a song called like Fresh or like No Dice or like even some of the old Joey stuff that I was doing and stuff, like From the Tombs and all that stuff. This was like some sort of new Chuck to them, you know what I mean? Like, or a different Chuck to them or whatever. So even though, it's all me and shit, but like there is an element of that on the album. I really feel like there is that, like that some of the songs there, like there's a song called Feelings on there
Mm.
that I was listening to it the other day and I was like just like laughing at like the youthful, like just in my eyes now because I'm older and the song's old to me, just some of the shit I was saying on there that I was just like would not say right now. You know what I mean? But I was like, people still need to hear this,
Yeah.
And I think that that'll resonate with, people who are younger than me, not everyone's 32.
You mentioned just what you just explained now, and in that the new Chuck. What's something you feel as though people are going to learn about your personality and who you are as a person on this new album that you feel as though you kind of haven't displayed on your previous work?
That like, um, oh, well, will learn about me
Hmm.
that I pick good beats, I rap good, I go through a lot of the same things that you do, just like whatever different version of it, or how my version of it, but we're all in the same simulation, just going through, different shit. So that's what I always tend to do about with my that's kind of always what I want to give off of my music. And in the new stuff is just like better versions of that. So like better written raps, like expect that, like way better written raps. Um I would say that the music is a little less fun.
Mm.
It's a little less fun. I think that my music was really like jovial, kind of. I used to have like real jovial kind of songs. And the past 5 years of my life have just really made it extremely hard to just like make music from that standpoint, just because I'm not some happy-go-lucky kid, like, making music with my friends all happy and no, yeah, it's all good. Like, so it is a little darker. You're getting older, you're living life, you're experiencing things, you're experiencing all kinds of shit. So that life is thrown at you. And yeah, after that, it's kind of hard to get in the studio and be like, I'm pretty good at beer pong again. You know what I mean? Yeah, so forgive me if that's your shit and my new stuff doesn't remind you of that.
No, I
But
think it's good because it shows you've evolved as an artist, and it's more of a diary to you now. It's more
yeah,
personal. It's more what you're
yeah.
going through. I think that's more relatable than because I say it all the time because everyone's like, well, we want something that's lit at the clubs. We want this. Life isn't a party 24/7. That club, you're only in there for about 2 to 3 hours, if that. Once you're
I
out of there,
agree.
it's back to life.
I agree. I agree, man. And certain people, like a nigga who make club music, he might actually go to a club and leave with women or go to the club and be the man, like before he was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so him making this kind of music is fitting,
Yeah.
like, because this is who he is and shit like that. So I think it's all about who you are. Like, I'm not gonna act like I was going to the club and I was the man and doing all this and I knew the movers and shakers of the nightlife. I didn't know any of that shit. So like, I'm not concerned with any of that. And so uh, I make music that makes sense to me in my life, and I
And
don't
that's the
really
most
care.
important.
I don't really care. I don't really like another thing that I don't really care about how people feel about it. I'll be honest with you.
That's a
Like,
mentality to have. Even Rick Rubin speaks about that. Block
yeah,
out the
like even good or
audience.
bad. Like good
Yeah.
or bad. Like somebody be like, yo, this shit was XYZ. Like I really fuck with this song you did, right? And I'll appreciate that what I will appreciate more so than the fact that they like the song, is just the fact that they took the time out to stop me and be like, yo, bro, like, because that takes like the dropping of the ego and like, yo, bro, like I fuck with this shit that you did and I live my life to this. Like, so I honor that part of it. But like, I'm not like, oh wow, you said you like this song, so I should make more songs like this. Like, nah, like I don't, I don't value people's opinions like that, or not, or no, it's like a few people, but nah, like I ain't gonna lie, like for the most part, I be having like try to have visions and stuff like for the stuff I want to talk about or how I want to portray. So like, I don't really care about what anyone thinks about that, even if you're my friend or
Mm.
whatever.
That's important. Keep that opinion too. That's what's gonna make you create timeless music. Even Rick Rubin, like I was trying to say before, he's a big advocate of that. Block out the audience. Do how you feel. Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about this one. Just create what you want to create.
Because it's funny, man. As a producer, there's times I've been into studio sessions and like I'm in the studio session and these other producers are there and it's like somebody might be making a song and like they're like it's like a club in the studio, right?
Mhm.
There's like music playing, there's liquor, there's like females, there's like all kinds of shit going on, right? I'm like, oh shit, this is a movie in here, right? My studio sessions are nothing like that. It's like me and Trev, that's it, right? Right? So it's funny because niggas will be like doing all that shit and then stop and then be like, hold up, let's switch gears. How about you play some beats? Like, let's hear some of like that rap stuff you be doing. And like honestly, like, do you mind if we put some trap drums over that shit? Like my man over here, he good at drums. Like, could he just put some drums over your shit and we just rock out? And I'm for it. I don't care. Like, I don't. But to me, it's just funny. Like, it's like, hold up, let's switch over to Big Homie. Let's switch modes to Big Bro. It's like kind of like, wow, like it's almost embarrassing. But I don't know if I'm embarrassed by it or it just makes you feel like, wow, like it's almost like, hold up, like it's like the part of the party where like everyone's like no one's like doing the freaky dances anymore. People are just like standing up talking now. Like I'm like, no, do the freaky dances. I want to do the and the thing is I don't. I'm joking. I don't even care about that. Like, getting the hit I just want to be able to make my music and live the life I want to
That you
live.
want to live.
Live the life I want to
Yeah.
live. If I could do that, really, what can you really got to complain about,
That's
But
the
I've
way to
seen all
do it.
different kind of perspectives. I know some niggas be like, I want to be the biggest rapper, whoever, whatever it is. And I think that that's courageous and ambitious. And I don't look down on anyone who's trying to do that. But like, I just think that so much comes with that I don't really have interest in, particularly. So like, I don't know. I'd rather just do me.
2024, we're in the early months already with January here. Skied up, got the new single dropping. I already told you, I heard it. You got the Mad Max stamp. Uncle Al did his thing on there. But man, what
Yeah.
else you got on the rollout for this year? I mean, what do you got planned? Because you said that you have a lot of things you want to accomplish, a lot of classics you want to release with your own material.
Yeah.
What's next that you want to speak on that you're going to take on this year and give to your fans?
Oh, I would say this album, and also I really really hope to me and Obi say he's featured on well he did it. Hold up, do he got a beat on? He might got a beat on Too Afraid to Dance, but he definitely got beats on Boys and Girls and he raps on Boys and Girls too. Obi say, really talented guy. Like he's like a painter, he's a musician, he's a fucking he makes little sculptings, all kinds of shit. He's just an artist, you know. And I want to put out a project with him. So,
Mm.
Lord willing, that'll come out this year. We got so much music in the vault, and I think it just needs to see the light of day. But I'm trying to figure out. We need to figure out the songs, and I want to like rebrand. Like I think the Sounds of Beverly is dead. I used to have this thing called the Sounds of Beverly, but like, I don't know, like it was like a different phase of my life, and I don't think that makes sense anymore. And I want a different name where like I named it the Sounds of Beverly because it was Beverly Road, my hood, where I was from. Like, what if I want to make music with it? What if I want to put on? What if I want to rap or put out somebody's album from fucking I don't know, Wisconsin or some shit, wherever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, even though that I guess that doesn't matter, but like I just want something more universal. So I'm murdering. I'm throwing Sounds of Beverly in the garbage and fucking starting anew with something else when I figure it out.
Here's a good question for you. If you were to go on a Hit Boy run with a legendary rapper, kind of like what Hit Boy did with Nas, who would be your choice?
Oh, like to do projects like that?
Yeah,
Oh, Joey. It'll be Joey.
Joey. I mean,
Like,
you've already. I get it. You want to do projects. I mean, you've done production work, but Joey's your choice.
but we never did a whole
You never did
album.
a whole project. Yeah.
And the thing is, some of the stuff even that we did for 2000 that didn't come out, I mean, I guess everyone's gonna feel like this because some of the stuff that we did I thought was amazing and it didn't even come out. Like, at one point I had like a bunch of beats on there, and then, he made new songs and others replaced it, which is fine. But I I personally think that like if him and I did an album, it would be like a classic album. It would be
Mhm.
like it would be amongst the whatever albums you want to call it, like that are solo produced, like some like B or fucking Bandana or fucking like it would live in these worlds of things, Covert Coupe, shit like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like one producer, one artist, like yeah, I think we would make it. I think we would shit. I think we would shit on shit. And I think that also his fans would be like, oh, like it would almost be like pandering. Let's see. But I think that we could do something like a 1999 again,
Mm.
like something that have that level impact if we did it. I think so.
Let's manifest it, man. We talked about that critically acclaimed classic. We need someone out there to because these people, these critics and stuff, they're not. I'm gonna be really pushing for that, like the new Get Rich or Die Trying, a new Country Grammar, a new It Was Written. Let's go, new blueprint. Let's start pushing these artists out here.
You know what it is? I think we're never gonna have one of those two because the music just sounds so completely different.
Yeah.
So like if Offset drops some fire shit that's crazy or whatever we do, we're not gonna call it the new country grammar. We're just gonna say Offset drops some new fire
Yeah.
shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I think we just gotta let that shit be. Nostalgia is almost bad for you, bro.
Mm.
It feels so good, but it's almost bad for you, bro. Cause that shit, I like to think of nostalgia, and I was looking at this interview, this review of my shit, and this nigga said some shit that I fuck with, where I was like, I like nostalgia in the sense, and he was right about this, where I fuck with nostalgia in the sense of like, not that like we need another country grammar, but we need to instill the value. We need to always have the values of country grammar. Like, you know what I mean? Like I fuck with nostalgia in that sense of like, yeah, like um, even if you is doing some other shit or whatever, like do it your way. Do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like keep the ancestors with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and these kids is doing it. Like, look, Coil Ray, she had some Grandmaster Flash shit or some shit. Like, man, ain't no, the wheels always turning on itself and shit like that. So I think that nostalgia is good, but also bad because then it's like, oh, Yeah, that shit will have people talking about like Illmatic and not it was written. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's
Yeah.
like, damn, like that shit will have people thinking like this is a bad CD. And it's like, what are you talking about? This shit is better than 99% of all rap albums. So, you know.
And Chuck Strangers is here, man. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Is there anything else you would love to let your fans know? Anything that we didn't touch on, man?
Skeet Up is coming out, I think the 25th. The video is dropping too. I think the video drops a couple days after, maybe, or something. We're figuring it out now, but the video is out. Forsaken. I think the album is out the 15th, if I'm not mistaken, March 15th. Like I say, look out for my man Obi Say. Um, Shout everybody from the hood one time. Woo woo, man. Shit, we here, man.
We're here, man. Chuck, I want to thank you for coming on the show. All that you do for hip hop. I'm looking forward to the upcoming album. You got it, man. Everything that you're releasing in the near future, I'm looking forward to it. Keep doing you. And shout out to Sean for getting us connected and linked up. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you're always welcome on, man.
Ah, man, thank you, bro. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to talk. And good questions, good interview, man. We can talk anytime, man.
I appreciate it, man. And let them know where they can follow you on Instagram at Chuck Strangers, Twitter,
Oh
all
yeah, my
that.
Instagram is Chuck Strangers, just spelled correctly, Chuck Strangers. My Twitter is Chuck_Strangers. Um, yeah. My YouTube is, I think, Chuck Strangers with two S's. Because apparently someone else is Chuck Strangers, but man.
We got a tag to get that page taken down so you can get what you want. But
I know, right? I know, right? But hey, I ain't gonna hate. Whatever. He was there
it
first.
is what it is. But Chuck Strangers, thanks again, man. I'm looking forward to the upcoming album. Congratulations on everything this far. Until the next time, man. Peace out, all right?
Peace, bro.
Peace, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
My dog, you too, bro.
Yeah. Salute.